Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu-Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yeah, but through our own lens, which can be cilantro, can be mint, can be basil, can be cumin, honey. At the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi. What's happening?
So we're discussing Life After Lockup, season 5, episode 7, Moms Behaving Badly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's
Mm-hmm.
happening.
And I get
Oh,
it. Boy, do I understand that one.
me.
So let's just get into this with whatever kind of episode. Karak and Brittany.
Oh
Okay.
gosh. Rock is I don't like that person.
I know. Yeah, this is true. But we can get into it. So let's just say that Brittany is in the mirror, honey, laying her baby hairs, honey, and she's used. So at first I was like, okay, yes, she's like using that, but then she has like a makeup brush, and I can't tell if she's using the makeup brush to friction wise her actual baby hairs, or if she's also like adding a little shadow to her hairline. I couldn't quite tell what the makeup brush was doing, if not all of it or whatever, but I was like very interested. But basically, we've known that Brittany's parents have not been the most supportive. What?
I don't think you have your mic on. This seems to be the theme of our lives. So, or it's not close to you?
And
Do
maybe
you
it's
have it
not
on?
close to me.
Maybe that's
But
what's
I
going on.
definitely had checked before.
I think it's just not close to you. I felt you touch it just now and I heard sounds come from it. So it is on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. Go ahead. Sorry, I
Okay.
didn't mean to bother you. It just felt
No.
cavernous.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, as we know, as I was saying, Brittany's parents have not been the most supportive of her relationship with Key Rock. We know that because at one point we were supposed to like meet up with her dad, and that person just never came. And so she cried about it. The only thing we do know is that her abuela, is chill or whatever. So, or is fine. Like obviously, Key Rock had like gotten abuela's blessing. Now she still hasn't seen Abuela in a hot ass second, but like if she was to break up with Key Rock, like Abuela's house would be the first one. She also drops the information that she hasn't seen her parents, and she said 6 years, which is a whole ass time. That's what she said in this episode,
Wow.
which was confusing to me. But that's true. Anyway,
Maybe
but she said
because
they
she went
still
to
like,
prison.
yeah, but it's like they listen. She was like, listen, while they were there, while she was there, they still supported her. But what had happened was Key Rock said some things, notably about what he thinks her mom thinks about him, which is basically that your mom doesn't like me because, like, as she said, that I'm from the hood. And this makes Brittany like lose her shit, like she's like, absolutely not, I never said that, that's not true. And she's like, the only reason why my mom doesn't like you is because you were not born a man. So this, she's also like, and they hate me, and whether like he's, I don't know. So that was like a point of contention, but she really seemed very, very upset. What do you think?
I think it's because Brittany doesn't want the world to think that her parents are racist. And so whenever
I know.
he mentions that they might be racist, she gets upset.
I
But
know.
the truth is that they probably are.
Or a racist.
Yeah. And she just doesn't want that to be their narrative. She would like for them to just be homophobic.
Yeah. Transphobic,
Yeah.
homophobic, because those are more readily accepted phobias as well, not readily accepted, but like it's harder. I mean,
It's
even
easier for them as Christians, I guess, or
those
religious people to be
well,
that. I don't know.
those are the fights happening, I guess, more in the present era, which thank God, like not gay. Like I don't know I don't actually, I'm not gonna, what am I doing? I have no idea what she's trying to, what her thinking is behind what her parents should hate and what is acceptable or not to hate. I can't imagine. So I don't know, but it's just like, it's very intense and like a heated conversation. She like rips off her microphone. Then yeah, she like goes in the bathroom, and then she allows Key Rock to go in the bathroom with her. And that's when I was like, oh, she wants to correct him or something. Or it's like, yeah, then it was something that he said and not that she was mad at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought she was mad at him, but it was because of what he said.
Yes.
And that was evident when she let him go in the bathroom.
Yes. It's just very confusing that she's still very protective of her parents and their their reputation. So he thinks that he's going to win over Abuela. And I don't think that he is. So
Yeah,
I
but you're
hope
that's a great
for the
point because,
best.
like, if she was really worried about their reputation or what they thought about anything, like, no offense, would she be on this show?
Yeah, and she would just make them a non-point. She would say, "My parents are not with it, so let's just leave them out of it." She wouldn't even have had the dad even attempt to meet her for Father's Day at all.
Yes, right?
Yeah. So I just don't get it.
Yeah, okay, because I know because you don't like Rock, but, like, this is an interesting point because I was like, "Well, who's really to blame here?" But it's like, yeah, she uses her parents and whether she exploits her parents to a certain way. And by the way, she's not the only one. Like, we couldn't stand last year, which they brought it up again in a flashback, how Sarah exploited her daughter, kind of like to let her daughter know that Anthony was the father. And it was a really awkward scene when she laughs. Like, remember how we hated, like, the
Mhm.
chocolate milk or
Mhm.
whatever, where that we were like, is this really happening? And why is this happening?
Mhm. Mhm.
On TV. Um, you know, in the same way, like talking about people or using people who aren't on the show and their not issues, but issue for lack of a better word, issues is really interesting, even if it does pertain to you,
Yeah.
because those people definitely don't feel like they are able to sign up release form because a
Yes.
baby's a baby, and people that are not even there are not even there.
Yep.
You know.
Baby's a baby, and people who are not there, guess what? Are not there, guys.
Honey, I got a BA. It's a theater
Yes.
arts. It's theater arts.
Theater.
Okay.
Yes.
The
Um
theater. Yeah. So, that part is anything else that
I mean, no. I mean, but let's talk about the explosive and exciting Taylor and Chance.
wahoo waha.
I mean,
Oh.
Chance, he is a character.
Mhm.
He's wild. He's crazy.
Yes. Yes. Wild and crazy.
He's a
Oh,
wild and
wild and
crazy kid.
crazy kids.
Yeah.
Wild and crazy kids. I
He's
loved
a
it. Oh my God,
wild and
Omar,
it was just like it was so batshit and
that show.
entertaining.
Yes.
Wild and crazy batshit kids.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah. So, I mean, just the driving on this country Missouri road. What is in the water in Missouri? We've got Red acting a
Meth.
fool. Uh-huh. Okay,
Meth.
thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for the people in
He's
the
out
back.
of his mind high, honey. I'll tell you this right now. Okay. Allegedly,
Mhm.
allegedly
Mhm. Because we don't want Chance to sue us.
sue with all the monies.
Mhm. Because we have
But it
none.
felt energetically, not
Mhm.
only him, he felt energetically suspect, and so does Bobby. Bobby,
Wow.
this episode felt energetically suspect. But Chance is driving, honey, manically in this truck on them roads. He is talking to the camera, sorry,
Wait, no,
he's
no, no.
having,
Go back, go back. First, he's at his job and he's cleaning
well,
up
that's like the
his
Empire. Yeah, when yeah, you're right.
he's first of all, he wants peace in his life and he wants to build his empire. Okay? And then we've
Ugh,
got Bobby and the friend who come over to Taylor's house
yes.
to kind of help her through this crisis.
Mhm.
And Bobby's nail beds need some help. Bobby has either been painting or rooting through dirt because those nail beds have had some things happen, or she just dyed her hair without any gloves,
I th allegedly.
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 Allegedly. And so Bobby and the friend come over to kind of rally around Taylor to help her and give her strength to do the things that she needs to do. So we have Taylor, her hair is a color we've never seen, and
Mhm,
she's telling them all the things that he
mhm,
has done to her within the last, like checking her phone and then
mhm,
checking his phone, and that it turned out to
mhm,
be a gay guy. And I
mhm.
didn't like that statement. I wrote it down. It felt weird. I don't know. Maybe it was right, maybe it was wrong, but it turned it out to be a man. And so then we cut to him, who is in an attic sweeping up construction dust. So he's not doing the construction, he is cleaning up someone else's construction.
Mhm.
And he's like, I don't know, Taylor. Let me tell you about me. I'm criminal. Taylor didn't know she was that. Didn't know how crazy she was, didn't know how far and deep her madness was until she created a fake account and tricked me into cheating on her. I am capable of anything. I will punch a fool in the face and see them on the ground, choking on their own blood, and walk away. Taylor?
Come back and piss on them. We'll walk away again.
Yeah. Taylor didn't know it was possible. Didn't know it was possible that she could create a fake account and trick me. And now I know she's capable of anything. And at that point, I knew that we were on a wild ride with Chance. He made that analogy, he made that comparison to him punching somebody in the face and walking away and robbing them, to Taylor creating a fake account. And I said, oh, we are on a wild ass ride. And he did not disappoint, Chris.
I thought, wow, what is talking here? What did he take? What the fuck what has he been taking? You know, yeah, he's just like, I thought it was a girl, you know, like I think that I really think that he is just out of his mind. So then from this scene, then we get the scene that I wanted to set up, which is this crazy scene.
Say it. I got the recipe for the proof in the pudding.
Oh, that's crazy.
I got the motherfucking recipe for the proof in the pudding. And if I want to pick, I'll ask for a motherfucking pick. But I didn't want to pick.
By the way, of course he did. He said, prove it. I must get another shower. Prove it. How the fuck would you prove it? Want me to send you the water off of my body? It's going to be dry then. Like, how the fuck would you prove? Can I be honest? In a billion years, how the fuck what did he expect? Okay. How would you prove that you got out of the goddamn shower? He's the dumbest. I hate him. He's out of his mind high again. So again, my favorite part of it, he says a bunch of crazy things. It's like a Shakespeare character. It's like Michael Barnett. I mean, it's like meth talks, honey, and then like we just gotta watch, honey. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to tell you. It's like it's almost like a version of AI where it's like crazy shit will just be spouted to you, and it's like you shouldn't listen and you shouldn't watch, but it is also like fascinating of how this is what got thrown together and what I'm hearing. Here we are. So he's in the truck, he's driving, he calls Taylor, right? Taylor's like, this motherfucking bitch, picks up. And he's like, hey, I have your laptop, or, you know, and I'm gonna come get my tools or whatever, God bless. And then throughout this conversation, he is like talking to her like through Bluetooth, but the camera obviously is on his dashboard. He knows where it is. So he's driving out of his mind and then just like, look, and he will just be like, look, Taylor, if you want to fucking fight, like I'm coming for you. You're just like, oh my God, you're crazy. Also, like, I don't ever want to see you. The thought of him on the roads is like, the thought of like a demon leash. Like, I almost feel like, could we get his license taken away? Like watching him do this, like every part of it, like remember, okay. So then he's getting higher and higher, like on this nervous system, like his vagus nerve or whatever, the vagus nerve or whatever is, I mean, at a goddamn 11. So then he gets there and like Bobby is not all there for her sis right now. You know, this other friend had to get there to bring some energy in, because if it was just Bobby, not a word would be said. Bobby's about to fall asleep on the couch, honey. Bobby is nappy noo time. I'm like, where's Bobby's feet? Noo time. Where's her news? Where's, honey, 9 minutes later?
She has no words.
Where's her fiance?
I don't know. He's at work.
I know. He just seems so sober.
Working a 12-hour shift.
At least someone's working, honestly.
So Taylor packs all of his bags in trash bags, throws it out on the lawn.
All of his shit in trash bags. Yes,
she also says that she's like, look at my house. Look at what he's done to my house. Like, I have to hire someone to come in here and fix all the shit that he's done. And I'm like, you let him do it. I don't feel bad for Taylor at all. She is the maestro in this orchestra.
She's the Bradley Cooper movie of this.
She's of A Star Is Born.
Yes, honey.
She has allowed this to happen. She's like, Chance, and she knew from the jump that this wasn't right. She knew from their first season that this was not right. And so I don't feel sorry for her at one bit. When she's complaining, I'm just like, the whole time I'm watching it, like, and then she's like, he's done this to me, he's done that to me, and I'm like, you had that man's baby. So you are the fool in this scenario. He is just being Chance. And you are being a fool because you have 3 children that you brought this man into your home to disrupt. So they're all waiting for him. And we forget that he told her 3 hours ago that he was coming home to bring her the laptop. And it has been 3 hours and they're just sitting around waiting for him to come to the house to wreak havoc. And on the way there, he's like, "You cheated on me." And he's just spouting off all these lies. At some point, he says, "I'm going to cut your laptop in half." And she's like, "Well, I'll cut your tools in half." And I was like, sick burn, bro. You guys are just killing it at talking shit to each other. So he's dipping and diving, swerving and whirving. He gets to the house. He walks in, and then everyone's like, "Oh, okay, okay." And he's like, "There's a dude in here?" Meanwhile, there's 2 women. 2 big booty bitches.
Yeah, a goon. He said a goon, which I was like, a goon is such a great word. They're a goon. I thought it was a goon.
What's the difference between a goon and a goblin? Said Lil Wayne. Also, secondly,
oh, I can't wait.
We just saw Bobo pin this man up against a brick wall. And he has the audacity to act like he has any balls. And we see him try to like belittle and push down women. Chance is a bitch ass
bully.
He's a bitch ass bully. We're seeing him trying to bully these women when we saw Bobo just push that Babo. We saw
Babu, my Babu,
my Babu. We saw him just get hemmed up by a man in a black wife beater and red Nikes for $1,000. Okay, what are you talking about, Chance?
Absolutely. And then just follow the story again. Before this fight, he had worked from like she was like, he left at 6 a.m. and he came home at like 9:30. He worked all day, is what she says. At the end of this fight, when he comes in and the girls are like, "You just fucking stormed in." And he's like, "I did not." And he's like, "No, you came in with absolutely small dick energy. Get the fuck out." And he's like, "Well, my house." It's like, actually, her name's on the house. He's like, "Okay." And so then he does leave, and then like whatever tries to like come back. But at one point he says he does not have enough money to stay one night at a cheap motel. And I'm going to tell you, it's one of like, I'm going to tell you that is hard for me. That's sad. Because a cheap motel is like
29.
Yeah, I gave it. You're right. It could be 29. I was okay. You're right. 29. I mean, literally, I'm like, so this man, he cannot. Out of all the talk, like I know I could just print money. He talks such a fucking big game, but he is such a goddamn loser. And you don't have enough money for one motel night. Like, it's so obvious why he needs Taylor. Like, he just uses her. And she just allowed it because she was like so sad and lonely and had all these kids or whatever and hated herself. And it's just like, and her sister was like on death's door every 3 months. And it's just like such a sad situation. And I mean, this truly, like, I hope the best for Taylor.
No, come back out. Come back out of that. Come back out.
No, because the kids.
Come out of that. Come back. Come out. We're making fun of it. We're having a good time. Come out. Come out of that.
It's like, I mean, I hate Chance, obviously. Is that not obvious? Like, like, honey, absolutely fucking not. Earl.
She's learning to love her.
Earl. Don't you ever call him Chance.
Earl.
It's Earl.
It's Earl.
It's Earl. Chance only because, like, side note is I never said this out loud, but I'm gonna say this right now. Like, I had a crush on a guy named Chance when I was in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it cute?
It was like it was like an energy, I think, also, and like he was like a theater person.
Okay. No, he was gay. Remains to be seen.
I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, I wouldn't know. Oh. Anyway, yeah. So, but Earl is like whatever. I mean, the fact that he's like, "Oh, does he will get back there soon?" I'm like, yeah, because you cannot afford to not be with her. Like you know, and it's
Mhm.
like, I'll be honest, like, I think that he did fuck up the house. Like I was looking, it's such an uneven thing of that weird epoxy table
Mhm.
thing right
Mhm.
on the burners for the way that
Mhm.
they cook. And I was like, is that safe? Is that safe? That's a bunch of material waste. Is that okay to have just right by where you like cook? Like, you know, like, is anything gonna melt? And like, you know, place it on fire? Like, and also it wasn't flush. You could see how like
Mhm.
it was like dipped up. I mean, if I were her, I'd be like, can you just sue him?
No. What for what? For his time?
You know, I guess you're right. Because
For
in my
his
mind, I'm
for
like, you
his
can't,
skill set?
yeah, because like for bad construction,
Mm-mm. What's she gonna
fine.
get out of it? Him to
Permit.
come back into her house and
He
fix it?
can't do that without the permits.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all,
What?
then they get outside and he's like, "So you're not gonna let me see my son? You're not gonna let me see the kids?" And she's like, "No, I'd never stop you from doing that. So what? I can't come over?" She's like, "No, just give me some space." What does space mean? She's like, "Don't be over here in the morning talking about let me see my son." Well, you're welcome for Mason. You're fucking welcome. And she's like,
You're welcome for holding your ass and Mason.
"Yeah, you're
Are I
welcome for
mean,
this P.
I wish
You're
that
welcome for
yeah.
this C.
Yeah.
You're welcome for a place to stay." He's like, "This last 2 years have been a waste of time." And she's like, "You're
For
welcome
me.
for," yeah. Like, what? This was such a shit show. Such a fun, exciting shit show to watch. He didn't even pick up his shit. He like was like, "I don't need that. I don't need it." And he's like, "My friend Tanya's got me a place to stay." And I'm like, "Tanya's a fool too."
Oh
Where's
yeah.
where's that redheaded person with the cat? Wow, this was
Mm.
such a fun shit show. And then
Yeah,
he like knocks on the
he
door to
does
come
have a
back.
place to he does have a place to stay. He
What?
does have a place to stay. Wahama, don't you remember?
Hmm?
The limo.
Oh, oh my
He can just funny
god.
curl
Oh,
up,
every
curl
time you
up
say
in
the
that
limo, I think of
limo.
men with toes out. Ugh.
Curl up in it, honey. Spend the night. A little like
No.
ripped leather underneath your ear.
No. I don't want it.
Well, you're gonna get it.
Ugh, sorry.
Anyway, so
Okay,
let's move
let's move
on.
on to Lure and Melissa.
Yeah, I like to make. I like. Yeah. Anyways, I know.
Say it in French. Lure.
Luer. Yeah, no, no.
Luer.
That's not Luer or nothing like that. That's like I don't know.
Um,
Louis. It's yeah, but in French, it's absolutely Louis. You know. Anyway, I think Louis is like one of the sons. I don't know. So anyway, God bless. Let's just talk about this. So they go to like some town main street cute. They go to some place, honey, where you get fun drinks. Now I'll tell you, I could not love a fun drink more. Like
Good
a fruity
vibes.
fun. Yeah, like
Listen, they
if it's a
wanted the
juice.
shout out. We're giving it to them. Fun vibes in New Jersey.
Okay,
Or
yeah, you
good
know,
vibes. Good vibes in New Jersey.
all of Louis and Melissa's entire segments are shut out to different like mom and pop places, you know? Like I
Mhm.
don't know what this is, but you know, fine. But yeah, like he's like, "Can I get a job here?" And the girl's like, "No.
No.
I don't want to no, absolutely not. I mean, you're so creepy."
No, you're recording life after lockup? No, in a hurry.
Yeah, so basically they're, you know, talking and Melissa has like such a great body and then but she has some other insecurities in her mind and so she wants to like, you know, get those done and so she's like, "Hey, girl, hey, remember that time I like fixed your whole fucking teeth with my money?"
Guess
Uh
what? I'm
yeah.
gonna get a nose job. And he's like, "So you're talking about getting something done and got mad at me for not telling you things and now you're getting things that I'm not telling me done?" And she's like, "Well, I need help getting, help with like getting recovery." And he's like, "Well, did you think about the fact that I have to talk to my PO?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Well, guess what? That's what you have to do now. So buck up, Chuck." And she's like, "Well, can you get that? Guess what? I have to get a pregnancy test." And he's like, "Oh." And she's like, "Well, we've been having a lot of sex without using a condom. So what if I'm pregnant?" And he's like, "Well, I wouldn't want you to be pregnant. I just got out of prison and I don't have any money." And she's like, "Well, all I hear is you don't want more responsibility." And he's like, "Is that what you heard?" Oh, what I said is that I don't have any money. I just got out of prison and I want to live a life because I've spent the last 25 years in prison and or on drugs. Fucking idiot. I'm so mad at her because that is the first thing that she's upset about. And now she wants him to be happy about her possibly being pregnant at fucking 42.
I was gonna say, I mean, did he ever like ask if she was on birth control or had like a thing up there or something, you know? Because like, you know, I was like, oh, did you ever talk about this before? Like, could you be pregnant? Like, did she say that she had birth? I mean,
No, is that
because
his job to talk about?
it's if okay, listen, if he never talks about it,
Mhm.
then in my mind, he should assume that it could happen and that he's okay with it.
Mm.
But if he has any sort of negative opinion that it should not happen, to me, it would seem like a great idea to see if it in fact could happen by, you know, like, listen, I mean, for this is if you're in a relationship, there's got to be the intimacy of what you talk about with each other if you're going to share body fluids. And thank you so much. And like, you know, like it's a woman's, you know, obviously I want her, she has autonomy and she can do whatever she wants. And I want, but I mean, if he thinks that she's doing something, it's not always good to assume if it affects his life. It's I think it's rational to then be like, "Hey, do you mind if I ask you what kind of birth control you use, if any, so I know how to plan my life as well?" You know what I'm saying? Like that seems like the elegant, graceful thing to do if I was a man.
I think she's on birth control. And
Well,
I
then it's
think
a moot point then, isn't it? Because
not
is it
necessarily, because it's only 99.1%, right? And so there is a chance she could be pregnant because of that percentage, especially if he's busting in guts, right? So,
and they've been busting all night long, honey,
busting
all week,
all
honey, just like,
3 to 4
you
times a
know,
day. Hey,
bus it,
hey,
bus it.
hey,
Is you
hey,
fucking yes.
hey,
2 shots?
hey.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That's my baby mama. We're gonna do that, baby mama. Get that, baby mama. We're gonna get that, baby mama.
Anyway, so
But for her to act like it's rational for him to want to have a kid is crazy, because she's consistently upset with him. So why would she want to have a child with someone she's consistently annoyed with?
she's so crazy and so emotionally mature that somehow this season is about how he is more mature than he is. So like because
For
she
her,
puts
yeah.
her yeah, sorry, how he's more mature than she is because he puts her in her place in the next scene. So basically, obviously they're like, well, you know, I got to go to New York, New York, New York. And so
Mhm.
like when we get to New York, you know, it's going to be like this like fancy thing, you know, like I want to go to dinner somewhere in Little Italy, honey. I want to, you know, whatever. I just like Delancey Street. I knew exactly where she wanted to go, you
Yeah.
know, like,
Mhm.
and then he's like, yeah, I know I got the spot. I got a spot. And she's like, what kind of spot? And he's like, you know, pizza spot, you know, whatever
Mhm.
saying. So we go to another person. And then when I saw this one, I was like, at this point, if this was like a Bravo franchise, I would say that he is angling to like the end of the season should be, guess what, Melissa? I got some investors. I'm opening up my own pizza spot. So I guess I'm not going to be a $8 an hour pizza boy for you anymore. You know, like it almost feels like that's what the trajectory of like the most brilliant hero arc for him is. You hear me, Matt Sharp? So
I would love that for him.
I mean, you know, can you Matt, like, it's because he now has given us 2 men
Yeah.
that love this man, believe in his fucking
Yeah.
flipping skills. There's a man in whatever his mom lives, and now this man is his mentor that taught him
Yeah.
how to flip. And the man watches him flip again, and then is like right to camera, like, I can tell he knows what he's doing by the way he's
Yeah.
stretched. I'm like, this is all leading up to something, right? I'm like, I
Yeah.
mean, this is brilliant writing.
I would love it. But the thing is, though, even if he did get it, Melissa would still find a way to shit on it.
Is it wood fire?
Even
It better be because it would be a wood fired oven.
No,
Like,
she
you know,
would be like, "Oh, so now you're gonna get a business. That's not what I want. So now you have a pizza business. I would like for you to get a job with a suit and a tie." And he's like, "I'm a fucking ex-druggie who's been in prison for 10 years.
yeah.
I'm not gonna get a job with a suit and tie, Melissa." So
Yeah.
owning a pizza joint makes the most. Even if Donna were to come back and do his books, help him run it, she'd be pissed. Like at this point, the way she's behaving, it's like all we got for her first 2 seasons was like, "I love Louis. His mother's too much. I'm gonna support him." And then he comes out, and all it is like, "Louis a mama's boy. Louis doesn't want to get a job." And this man has done nothing but have jobs.
He is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you literally told me how I, just like shouldn't go on interviews. Like, what would you want me not to give you money?" She also was like, "I was upset because if I knew I couldn't get his second income, I wouldn't move into a better place." Which I don't know if he asked you to do that, you fucking crazy bitch. Again, he just moved there, and your sister is crazy too. And then so yeah, he like gets when he gets an interview and he tells her about it, she's obviously pissed or whatever. And it's so sad because I'm like, just enjoy your nose and this slice. You're gonna get a new nose, a new fucking chin. Enjoy the slice of hot ass pizza and your hot ass man. And you know what? At some point, go back to the vibe of you being in a goddamn cheerleading outfit. Remember
Yeah,
that? Remember
yeah,
hip hip hooray? Like
yeah,
literally go back to the vibe of being a little bit more cheerleader. Unless
yeah.
this is the thing.
Sis
Like, and by
boom
the
ba
way,
bitch.
yeah,
Sis boom fucking ba bitch.
little T, big T, little T, big B. I mean, all of it.
I
Victory.
said boom. In here, there must be some toros in the atmosphere. Something. Also, have you heard that on TikTok? The new
What?
aesthetic is mob wives. So Melissa is like right on par. It's all about makeup, too much, and lots of jewelry, fur coats, and all black. Mob wife aesthetics. She's there. Get a TikTok. Shut up.
I thought we just got off like too much makeup like Kardashian. Like Mob Wise is not so far off Kardashian to me that like I don't feel like I'm still so happy not to have like, overly lined lips and like hard, like thick eyeliner. I'm kind of excited to have like a little money makeup us. So she's never happy. He tells her that. She just kind of sits there and swallows it, because she's right, because he's right. Okay, we want to move on to Cheval and Quaylon. I don't
Yeah,
like this part.
Shavek and Quaylon.
Yeah, honey, she's
As
from
you
the
wrote in our
UK.
notes.
She's Russia. You didn't know?
Mm-hmm.
Quebec. Okay.
Mm.
I mean, she's on her phone doing this, whatever, God bless. So we're not going to go dress up shopping. It's say yes to the dress with
Mm-hmm.
all the
And that,
moms.
why does she have to bring Quaylon's mom? I don't
Oh,
understand.
the TV producers and
Oh, okay, that
producers.
makes sense. Thank you for Quaylon's mom's hair is great, and Chevelle's mother is still wearing that gold eyeshadow, and she won't give it up.
It's so chalky.
She won't give it up. She's been wearing it since the first season that you didn't see, and the wigs are still wiggy. Do you see them now? Do you see the wiggy?
I know I never not did.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, I never not did.
Okay, great.
Great.
The dresses are fucking ugly. Chevelle needs something to hold them titties up.
Okay, this part is okay. And listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have
Tell
a
me.
very okay. Before I say this, I have a very
Vera Wang.
awkward shaped body. Let me say,
Okay.
I have very long legs and a short torso. Like my boobs hang. The space in between, like where my boobs should be, even if up, and the actual like where my legs start is nothing. Like almost like that woman, like from I think is it family, it's like a still from like Family Guy, or maybe like it was still from American
Oh.
Dad, of like that's basically my body, except that I have a little bit more of a waist, and I have small, okay, picture that person, but if my shoulders are a tiny bit smaller, so it's not so square, a little bit waist, but like that's how long my legs are and how short my upper body is. Having said all of that, I'm looking at these two dresses and it feels like I just want to come at them and pull them up her body. I'm like, is it that is it that she has like a length to her waist that would fit her? Like, why is her cup so low? Like, I see where her boobies are, and these dresses are bringing them down where like the crease of where her boobies are is too high. It's too high for the shape of the dress. And I'm just like, but at the same time, also this, obviously there are just weird sample sizes, and sometimes it's very hard. Like people in the back when they're wearing, grad gowns, they have like the clips and stuff like that. I don't understand how my body looks in dresses, and so when I saw this, I was like, how interesting. Both dresses seem so short waisted on her, and or I don't get it. Like why wouldn't you just pull them up? Can
Yeah,
you tell me?
no. I mean, I just don't know. I don't understand what
Tell
I was
me.
looking at. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Brazier, maybe she's probably going to wear some kind of clear strapped brazier, and I'm angry
Oh
about the
no.
choice, and I don't want it. I don't want it, and I feel like she should just wear something that has some kind of strap to help provide a loftness to the tetas. And her mother is just terrible taste. Like, just like they have the worst taste. And Quaylan's mother is just staring because she thinks it's ugly. And like the two ladies are trying to be civil, and she's just like just like the stare off of like, so are you gonna like provide and like help? No, I'm still not going to because I don't agree with this. Oh, okay. So why are you here? Oh, because this is my daughter. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's moving too fast. Definitely. We agree that it's moving too fast. But the fact is that her mother, Chevelle's mother, believes that Quaylan is a piece of shit and that Chevelle's making the worst choice that she could ever make in her entire life. And I'm like, no, the worst choice that she could ever make in her entire life is that wig. That's the worst choice. So, like, Quaylan is just in line. There's several bad choices, like those vertical stripes that she's wearing on her outfit. She looks like a circus clown. She looks like she's the big top. That outfit, that two-piece outfit that she's wearing, she
I
walks in
know.
there.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, she loves a flare high-waisted pant, and no one likes it for her but herself.
They all sort of hate each other, but it also seems fake at the same time. Like the next scene seems super fake. Like their fight seems weird and fake. Like so basically she likes a second dress. They say yes to the second dress, honey, and everyone kind of cries. And that's when, as Wahama said, like they had like agreed that it was going too fast, but here we are. So the next scene is shower
Yeah.
time, and it's like basically what had happened was
Mhm.
Chevelle was talking to Quaylan's mom, and then Chevelle's mom was like, "Why are you spending so much goddamn time talking to the bad people? Come over
Mhm.
here." She goes and talks to them, and then her mom just kind of is bitchy at her,
Mhm.
but they're bitchy in a loud way. And obviously, her mom is bitchy specifically about is what a shit show Quaylan is. Quaylan's mom is there. And so Chevelle is like forced to defend not only like, yeah, Quaylan, her relationship, and also the respect that her mom should have for her. Meanwhile, Quaylan's mom is hearing all this and comes over to be like, honey, you don't have to deal with this fucking bullshit or whatever. Like, come with me over here. Like, this bitch is not going to be listening to you. And then, Chevelle's mom is like, that's my baby. That's my baby. You go to your baby. That's my baby. I birthed that baby. Don't you touch my baby. Don't you tell my baby to go anywhere because that is my baby. I made that baby.
And it's just so fucking rude and just like completely tone deaf and completely just unaware. Like, you think because you birthed this person, you can just be rude to this person and rude to this person at their own party. Chevelle is telling you, Mom, at this point, you're being a shit-faced asshole, and I'm asking you to stop. And I'm tired of you disrespecting me and my husband's family. And she's like, oh, you're tired of me disrespecting you and your husband's family? Oh, you're tired of it? Okay, well, so I don't think that you should blah 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 blah. And so Quaylan's mother comes over and is like, "Don't worry, girl, I got your back. Come over here. Don't even pay attention to it. Come over here, have a good time with the family. We're having a good time over here." And then Chevelle's mother is like, "Don't you interrupt me and my daughter. I will continue to ruin her party. I will continue to be a bitch. I will continue to act an ass in front of everybody because I am who I am,
Okay.
and you will not stop me." And then, unfortunately,
Mhm.
Chevelle has to have this situation, and it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, not as sad as the wig choice again. So
Just nothing will ever be as sad as the wig choice.
So here we are. And here we will be. The next people we're gonna talk about is Lindsay and Blaine, honey. I mean, this gets real crazy real quick. Blaine is like stressing the fuck out. He says he comes out and this part gets wildly where you're like, oh, this is like addict behavior, where he's like, he wants to get a weed card, and he basically is saying I'm depressed and he's not eating and depressed and he wants to get a weed card or whatever, like if it's that's the only option for him or whatever, which is not. There's obviously other drugs too, like prescription ones, and I'm not gonna say they're better and or worse, but I'm saying at the same time, at least you're like, you if you get a weed card, you can smoke as much weed as whatever the fuck you want. No doctor, you have to, is once a year. All you can do is like, hey, guess what? Still need it. You know,
Mhm.
when you go to you get psychiatric drugs, there is more there are more checkpoints, like, and they're definitely more timely, and you have to go see a doctor usually, like, and just anyway, so that's just, at least in California, God bless. It depends on what you are, but still. I just don't think it's a good idea, and neither does Lindsay. And so, but Lindsay's also pushing him because she's like, for whatever, wants to get married and before she could maybe go to jail and or not. And basically the next scene, she's frying bacon and all hell breaks loose.
I think it's that he is feeling pressured and cornered by her, and as a good Southern man, he feels like he should be able to take care of home,
Mhm.
and he can't. I don't know what he does for work. It's not clear if he goes or whatever. And he feels like he's doing sufficient, and she doesn't feel like he's doing sufficient, and he knows that. And so he just is in the bed all the time and he's tired and whatnot. So I think his depression is real. And so for him to go and try to get a medical marijuana card is foolhardy, especially because of his past. And we all know that weed is a gateway drug. No, it's not. But
They said it in the 90s.
yeah, they did. But I mean, it is gonna be for him. For someone who is a like a meth addict. You know what I mean? And like he's an addict. You know what I mean? He's not currently using it, but an addict is an addict for the rest of their lives. And so he's an addict. And so he should not be using weed. He shouldn't be on anything, but like I don't think prescription drugs, depending on what it is, would be best for him. He should be on some kind of antidepressant,
I
for
wonder if he should
sure.
be on, like, I wonder
Not
maybe,
an
like,
opioid, maybe an anti like anxiety medication or something.
how about, like,
Um,
a ketamine treatment, ketamine drip for, like, like, ever for, like,
Ketamine,
tr
isn't that druggy?
ketamine, yeah, but, like, you can do, like, a psychiatric drip that's, like, evaluated, and sometimes it helps with depression and anxiety. It's a new thing. But
So
it obvi
he
yeah.
shouldn't do that. And so, the next day, and also Lindsay is not good for him. She's not consistent. She's not, from what we saw, she isn't supportive enough because she's dealing with her own shit. To me, she didn't handle that situation well. She hasn't done the work herself to be able to speak to him calmly. Because I think she was a little out of pocket the way she spoke to him, and then the way he reacted. I'm gonna tell you right now, if anybody throws or slaps a pan of hot bacon grease anywhere near the vicinity of my motherfucking face, oh, it's over. You tried to scar my moneymaker? I'm done with you. No, 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 no. Not with hot oil, hot grease. Not to Wahin Molino. This money.
Face card never gets declined. Ever. Honey, American Express black card.
Heavy, thick. Okay? Discounts.
So
Delta.
Delta. I think that Delta One.
So no, you don't get to do that. When he did that and she was like, "Get out of my house," I was like, "Get to stepping, sir," because she was wrong up until that point. She was wrong, and then he took it to a whole nother level. So I don't know. That's a place of the baby sleep, and he acted a whole plumb fool. And also, I have another question: why was that armchair in the kitchen?
Their whole house doesn't make sense. I mean, like, she says they're, like, obviously living paycheck to paycheck. Like, it feels like all their furniture was just, like, what was gifted to them in, like, buy nothing groups, which is fine. It feels like everything is kind of like a mishmash. Remember when he had, like, a whole ass job and he could just, like, get her employed by his company, and, like, how that was, like, such a great deal, and he had a place? What?
Oh yeah, I remember Deviante or whatever his
Yeah,
name was.
yeah.
Oh my
Like,
god,
how the tables
that
have
was such a
turned. Now
long
Lindsay's
time
like,
ago.
I make double what you make. Like, like, oh shit. Like, Lindsay's always been a very strong person, and Blaine has always been not so strong of a person, like, You know, Lindsay had that.
Murder, Lindsay. Lindsay, you don't think I'll do anything, Lindsay?
Look,
No.
Blaine, I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're not going to bring Lean in the house. Like, you know, she has that strong jawline.
Well, Lindsay, I do a lot of stuff around the house here. I get
No,
the kids up
Blaine.
daily, and I'll make breakfast. This is the first time you're making breakfast, done.
You think you do nothing? I do everything when I'm the one cooking. You take out the trash sometimes.
Well, I'm tired, Lindsay. I've got depression. So that's why I want a little medical marijuana to help me get through the day. I can't believe you said that, Lindsay. I did everything for you, Lindsay.
I mean, he did. Listen, she's hard to please. Like her and Melissa kind of have the same vibe, which is like our men ain't shit.
Ain't a shit to be had in these men.
No, honey, no. So
okay,
we have Justine and Michael talking about men that aren't shit, and Sean and Sarah talking about men that aren't shit. So I don't have to tell you. It's a theme. This is called Moms Behaving Badly. This entire series should be called Men Behaving Badly. Oh, okay, honey. But which one do you want to do? Let's do Justine and Michael, right? Because it's them.
God, I can't believe he did this. I mean, he really put his whole family in an imposition. And then Justine is stupid for being like, I'm not going without you. She should take her whole family and her babies and go and leave that man there.
I would do it.
I would too. So this is where he has to come back with his tail between his legs and tell his family that he fucked up and he betted on red and it was black. So he finds out that there was that he can't actually move and that just kidding, everybody's packing ready to go. And he didn't turn in some documents that came to him. And so his approval to go to Vegas was denied. And so the family can't leave. They have to stay for another 30 to 90 days. And Justine is like, you lied to me, Mike. And he's like, I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you that there was a possibility we couldn't go. And so then he has to face the kids. And Kylie's like, so where's my mom supposed to do everything? And Kylie reads him as right. And then she tries to be like, Kylie, don't go too hard on Mike. And she's like, no, going hard. And then Bentley and his little 8-year-old brain is like, so you knew that there was a chance that we couldn't move and you didn't tell us? And Mike has to look in the eyes of Babes and be like, yeah. I was like, this is actually a pretty good vulnerable scene for Mike. And the boys forgive him and Kylie's not having it. So there's a lot of yelling and disappointments. So that's basically what happens, right? What else?
Remember all the flowers he brought? Remember when he first walked in, he had like 3 different kinds of flowers. It was like one kind of like pink roses set, like light pink roses. Like that would have been great. But then he also bought 2 others because he didn't know what to do. He got flustered at the Ralph's. So he bought that. And then he bought like this multi-color, like, you know, not to be like Tyree's, like, you know, tie-dyed colored roses again, but then there's like the multicolored carnations that he did. And so like all of it happened when he first shows up. If you ever see that many awkward, frantic, chaotic flowers from a man, you know that whatever is about to come out of his mouth is a whole bunch of fuckery. Like, I mean, that was the frantic 3 flowers. I would have seen it. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house. I would have waddled down the stairs, seen the choices of flowers, and been like, what the fuck did you do? What?
Chris, okay, I'm gonna tell you. Here in California, you can go to like a flower shop, like the only thing like a Latino flower shop. Okay, and if you go into a Latino flower shop, they'll give you a vase. So the fact that this man came in with these things wrapped in plastic means that he didn't have no other recourse but to go into a grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay, because I said, and there is a lovely Latino lady who speaks no English, and you go into that space and you say, "Perdona mi, señora. Yo necesito flores. 3 dozen." Okay.
Oh,
3 dozen. Okay. Okay. Blanco, roses. And you buy them flowers. Let me tell you, I've done it many times. And they come in a little vase. And then you pay the money. And that lady will go back and she'll arrange them. Or she already has them in her little refrigerator. And she'll put them in a vase for you. She'll give you the options. And if you try to speak Spanish, she'll help you out. And I think he might speak a little Spanish. He's Dominican. He speaks a little Spanish. And she'll
You
hook
don't
you
get
up.
to hear him. Never. I feel like, have we heard him speak Spanish before?
I haven't heard him, but like he might speak a little. I speak a little. So like I'm just like, damn, you couldn't even go to the like little Latino lady. I'm telling you right now, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's I don't know. He's whatever. It's also to give him some amount of grace. I don't know why everyone just expects perfection and expert planning, time management, life skills, goals, like huge. They really do expect a lot from these men that have only showed past problems with such things. So it's always interesting when someone's like, "You didn't get your shit together." Like, well, no. But remember how obviously a little bit because of like it's always like, I give him some grace. So
I mean, she didn't. She got pregnant immediately.
honey, this sounds like she
Like
gave him more than just a grace.
immediately. She
I
just
know.
let him just like shoot off in the club. Like pow, 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 pow. The club being her uterus.
Oh yeah. No, she was in that Batman car, honey, and then he came home, honey, and then he just
Came.
like,
Came.
Catwoman
Home
purr.
is her vagina.
Mhm. So, last and certainly least, Sean and Sarah. So this is like interesting. So basically, suddenly she calls. Thank you. She calls him, and this is like out of control. Then she's like, "Hey, I got a tow call for you." And now we're like, "Oh, she's an operating switchboard person,"
It's a
and
family
he
business.
now is a tow truck driver. He's like tinkering with the oil, like,
Yeah, it's the
has like some
business.
shit on him, you're just like, what is this? And then she basically is like, I have a call. Do you want to take it? And he's like, well, my car is broken. I'm trying to fix the car. And she's like, well, you're always doing something with this fucking car. What's wrong with you? You're dumb. Like basically, you're like,
It's
oh,
plan A, B, and C. He has no other plans. Okay. If this
yeah.
shit doesn't work, there's no moving forward.
He's been towing since he's been 15. So when this truck fell in his lap, which I was like, did I wonder? I mean, like, half of me is like, did it run over his toe? Because, like, like, I was like, how did the fucking truck fall in your lap?
It
Like,
literally fell. It crushed his lap.
I know. So, and that makes it sense because also, like, how great is this fucking truck if it's always breaking? Like, literally, someone was like, I have this fucking tow truck, and it literally is so
It's a
shitty. It's
lemon.
like the
It's a lemon.
transmission is like, it's a total lemon. I want to try and get rid of it, but I want some poor schlub to like buy it off of me. And then they saw a Sean, like he saw Beavis and Butthead style
Yeah.
Sean, and they were like, "There's the asshole." They went to him and he was like, "Hey, asshole. I mean, person. I mean, entrepreneur / businessman. Do you want to have a cool $500 in your pocket every night, motherfucker? Get yourself a tow truck. This one's great. Always top of the line quality with this one, and then make millions." It's almost the same thing as like, remember, Chance's fucking ugly limo scheme. It's like there is a weird black market to try and get dumb men to like take over dumb business schemes, and there's so many dumb men that they'll like quickly try and spend 500 for the promise of like thousands and just get stuck. And that's what it's like there's like men MLMs, you know what I'm saying? Almost like, but they don't get like the docu-series they should.
Yes, but you can make money off of this if the tow truck doesn't suck. You can.
Sure. And you can make
Yeah,
money
yeah.
off of being a limo driver too. But are these men going to do it?
No.
So we get really fucking bad news. So then Sarah, obviously, who's had her own goddamn issues with the baby that she has with Sean, who's like, getting to eat multicolored goldfish, whatever. Her mom, Kathy, who's being Kathy all over her place. And then, Sarah's like, just so you know, my dad ain't shit. My dad's not been shit. He left my mom and he was like, what daughter? And so just so you know, that's the story behind what I'm about to tell you, which is that I fucked up. Remember that time I brought Anthony back into my beautiful daughter's life, my older beautiful daughter that looks kind of like strawberry shortcake mixed with Annie, like what an angel I for some reason birthed. But dear God, well, I decided to let her like druggy ass dad back in her life because I low key am still attracted to him. And guess what, motherfuckers? he's now out of her life. He hasn't been
Mhm.
around. He didn't come to her birthday.
It's crazy.
And that part was crazy. It's like you already missed so much. If you're not going to come to your child's birthday, then you don't have a
Yeah,
child.
done.
Every year you have to buy your child a present and come to, if you don't live with them,
Mhm.
you have to come to their birthday. And if you
Absolutely.
don't, then
You're
you're
done.
done.
Yeah. You have
Yeah.
to. That's just what it is. That's
Yes.
what is necessary unless you are, I don't know, an oil tycoon and you're just like at the cusp, but no, you still have to come.
I, I mean,
You still have to come.
they want you to
So,
be there, especially if
and
they want you
then
to be there and
Alabama
they're young.
mom is just like, "Yeah, he's not coming around Abby no more. That's for dang sure." So she is
Yeah.
just like poster child for exactly what. I don't know, where's her
Yeah.
husband? So, that man is interesting. He was at the
So
wedding.
basically, yeah. So basically, Sarah's like, okay, so I'm going to decide to meet up with him, which is now too much of this.
But I'm gonna
I
bring a drug test with me, and he's gonna have to take it in front of me.
I'm going to expose him on TV for having like probably violated parole and or like something that you would never do to someone. Like I mean, this is not something you can do to someone legally or whatever. Like
Mhm.
you can't just like I don't think this is right. I mean, but whatever. Maybe you can. I mean, just this is a weird ass scene again. In one of those ways, where you're trying to expose someone like on national television for a really horrible thing. It seems fucked up. He doesn't come, which then begs the question that he probably was never going to come.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing as like Brittany's dad. Where like, is there a idea tank thing where the producers are just like, okay, so we can always do that scene where we can get them to think they're gonna meet with someone and then they get let down, and so it's dramatic, and then later on we can have something happen. It's like it's a stall tactic in a story that provides the letdown of someone and the drama of them not coming that we're gonna see Sharp Entertainment use with Tyree and Single Life, and I feel like I understand the trope now and I don't need you to use it.
Yeah.
I'm done. You can't use
It's
You've used it enough.
unnecessary. We don't require
Too
it.
many times.
Yeah.
Too many
It's lost
times.
its glamour.
Honey, you can't do it.
Mm-mm.
That's all I have to say. That's all. Anything
That's all we
else?
have to say. So there was a lot of theatrics that happened in this episode. Chris and I were very facially dramatic, and I actually did some physical comedy. So if you would have liked to see that, you can join us on patreon.com/docusweeties for $10 a month. Listen, Chris and I do not get paid off of this podcast. I know we make a lot of jokes about needing more chapstick or needing more bebidas or like whatever, but the truth is we use the funds from this to pay our lovely editor Christina and our fantastic social media person Caitlin. So if you would like to support your girls, you can do that by joining us on patreon.com/docusweeties, where you get the visuals of what you're listening to, as well as some exclusive content, including a live every first Monday of the month. But if you cannot do that, join us on patreon.com/docusweeties for $10 a month. Chris will tell us what you can do to support us in other ways. Chris?
Oh, yes, honey. Just go ahead and follow us on all our social medias and really help us with that engagement and or, talk about us in any sort of Reddit forums, share our videos, that kind of shit really, really helps. This is how you can do it. We are at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X. We have a Facebook group. It's the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. Again, we love you so much. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet, give us 5 stars and a friendly comment. Other than that, we'll talk to you later. Okay, baby boos?